What's good, boys and girls from the underworld, wearing underwears instead of undershirts? Yeah, I wouldn't like to be around me either. That's actually false. I would love if I had a best friend like me. I would actually love to have a twin brother. But twins are like, honestly, being a twin would be the most fun thing on the planet. Imagine taking exams for your twin, going to classes for your twin. Imagine dating a girl, but you're twins. So she doesn't even know who she's talking to right now. Do you know who you're talking to right now? Do you have any idea what I do? Yeah, I already messed up the sequence. Anyway, what are we here to talk about? We're talking about chilling. Yeah, I just had the worst stutter of my life. Kill me. So, point is, I'm 16. I'm 16 and it's stressful because, everyone wants to be like a fully successful, you know, top tier person by the time they're like 25, 30. I mean, everyone doesn't want to, but it would be good if we were. And I feel like I have been hard on myself, but I still don't feel like I've been hard on myself enough. I have grown a lot over the past few months, partly because I made this channel. Like, the whole point of the channel was supposed to be me, sharing my growth, which has already happened. But I actually grew a lot more after I made this channel. I used to be like a shy kind of person. Now I just speak to whoever I want to whenever I feel. I don't mind it because we're all humans at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. And by speak to, I don't mean just for, romantic attention or something. It's just chill. It's just chill. Don't overthink stuff. And the main problem I feel like for me has always been overthinking, over imagining, to be fair. And that has, cost me a few things. It hasn't really ever cost me something bad, but it could in the future. Which is why I think I need to chill. By the time I'm recording this, I have Fortnite being installed on my PC. Of course, I won't let it consume my daily life. There's way too much stuff going on already. And I feel like I have been alone long enough to where I am sure that if in case one day I move to another country or if all my friends just pass away, I will be fine by myself. I will be. So now that I've, prepared for pretty much the worst case scenario, of course, the worst case would be me changing in a way I didn't plan to and then having my life just go straight back to zero. But that's might happen. That might happen. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Just shouldn't hold my neck. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like I can finally take a chill pill. I have, remained disciplined enough to focus on my solitude, and I feel like I can be alone without going insane, like completely insane. So I am gonna be a little more social again. Of course, I won't be, you know, texting random baddies on Instagram or anything like that, because I I've actually got way more values now than I had before. I used to think I'm such a man of honor and values, but like I was just a kid who just thought he was all that. I still think I'm all that, by the way. Ego. It's not really ego, because I realize I don't really have an ego. It's more of a defense mechanism. And yeah, why I'm going way off topic here. Yeah. The thing is, when you're young, you need to understand that you won't ever be this young again. And see, now it's like the few months after 10th grade in which I can actually enjoy life. I don't want to go out and fake my age and go to clubs or go to parties with people who aren't all that. But at least I can hang around, I can chill out. If not anything, I can just go around and walk around and talk to random people at the gym. It's whatever. Main point is to not stress too much on yourself, because your competition isn't really strong. And let's be honest, if you're Indian, yes, you have some of the biggest competition in the world if you're going for like becoming a doctor or an engineer, but everything else apart from that, maybe even CA. But like anything apart from that, there isn't really much competition. So you can excel in a lot of different industries. And yeah, you don't really need to be so hard on yourself to the extent where you start hating yourself. I saw this clip of the dude who was like rank one in JEE trying to like dance and stuff, and he was just dead inside. I mean, good for him, you know. If it was actually what he wanted, good for him. Maybe he's just not a social person. I don't know him, but like, I don't know. Vibes are like upsetting. This is the way the 1,000 yard stare I saw in his eyes. Yeah, definitely not recommended. So I feel like we should really take a step back to take two steps ahead, if you know what I mean. You know, like when you jump, you don't just jump standing up, you squat and then you jump. So we do need rest, we do need to squat, but that too shouldn't be too regular. You know, sometimes you're gonna have to jump by yourself when an alligator just appears out of the thin air, like thin air from the water behind you or some shit. I don't know, I'm not good at making analogies. Okay, just get my point, please. Anyway, yeah, there's so is there any other filler words in the English language I could use? Anyway, I did it again. Wow. Give me 1 second, please. Am I gonna have to cut this out? I feel like someone would click off if they were even watching till now. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Point is, you shouldn't have it all figured out by the time you're 16. I mean, my age is like really young, you know, and I'm just starting to grow. I'm just starting to find out the things I like. I'm just starting to find out what my morals are, what my values are. And it's easy because I've most of the time always kept my values safe, always been the type of person I would admire. I've always been the type of person I thought God would like me to be. So it's a bit easier for me. Of course, if you've acted like a bitch all your life, it's going to be harder to change and actually become a good person. It's hard, man. It's genuinely extremely difficult to make the morally correct choices if you're not experienced in doing so. And it may tickle your ass a bit and it may feel good at the start, but then it's going to bite. Wouldn't want that. Definitely. 100%. So yeah, you shouldn't have it figured out, and nobody is gonna expect. Not a rational person, a reasonable person wouldn't expect you to have it all figured out by the time you're my age. But you just have to steer yourself in a safe path. You have to get to a safe path. You have to work hard enough to give yourself margin of error. That if your personality changes, if your likings change, if your preferences change, you can still afford it, and it won't ruin your life. If you're doing that much, bro, go live your life. Just do whatever you want with your time, as long as it's not morally wrong, as long as it's not evil, as long as it doesn't hurt somebody. Keep doing it, and as long as it maintains your image. Do not ruin your image. Not for any fun. No fun in the world is gonna measure against the respect you will have for having restraint. Write that shit down, brother. Write that shit down. Write it down. Write it down. I felt so Sigma saying that. I haven't cooked up a good quote in a while, you know. That was cool. That was cool. That was cool. Man, I hate not being nonchalant. But at least I get to be myself. So it's whatever.